Had a lot of fun. An old friend, David Eslick, another Springfield native who grew up on the north side, and we just reminisced about what it was like growing up in Springfield and some of the places that were available to kids and adults and so on. Places to eat, places to play, things to do, and it was just a nice hour reminiscing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what was life like?
A lot freer. We traveled we traveled the city pretty well on our own, and it was a different time. It's too bad it can't be that way for people today. But it was an enjoyable place to go and have your own little adventures. Whether you rode a bus or whether you walked or whatever, and lots of great places to eat, interesting places to eat. We didn't have the chain restaurants and things like we have today. Everything was local and independent and taste based on just the people that were here. So it was whether it was eating chicken livers at Gus Otto's or having a big cheeseburger somewhere or eating a bowl of chili at Casper's. It was a local place, and that made a much greater variety and things you couldn't get other places. Not just in food, but in a lot of things, in the stores and so on, the products they carried, all of that.
Speaking of the north side, I remember there used to be like a big mall where the Walmart is on.
Right. Yeah, it was a mall there, and it just never took off. There was one there. There was one on South Campbell. There was a nice sized mall, and both of them are Walmarts now. They just didn't. The city just wouldn't support them. If they were going to go to the mall, they were going to go to the mall, the first one, and the ones that came afterwards just didn't get the same throughput, the same traffic. We looked at the headlines from 100 years ago. They had just voted in to allow them to build a dam at Table Rock, which didn't come into fruition for many years, but finally did, and some things like that. It was an interesting week. Headlines for the week after. Fascinating stuff. The Chamber of Commerce recommended that the city paint the names of streets on the curb at the street corners, so people would know there was no street signs, and so people would know what the streets were. They would just paint them on the corner on the curbs, and then that came to fruition ultimately, and then. Like the water company was going to sell notes to raise money for repairs, and Springfield Seed Company had Christmas trees for 25 cents and up. So that was a nice price on Christmas trees. So that was fun. But yeah, those are the things that went on in the news at that time.